Hello, 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 and welcome to Updog Sports Talk. My name is Matt Miller. Joining me today is Justin McGovern. No technical difficulties today, Justin. And then
We shall
we have
see.
a very special guest, Alex from the Mac Sports Connection. What's going on, man?
What is going on, guys? Thank you for having me back on. It's always good to talk ball with you guys, and I'm looking forward to it.
Not just ball, MACtion. The
Yeah,
best kind of ball there is.
the
Tuesday
only kind
night,
in my book, but
you'll get
we
like,
can have that discussion for another time.
as Justin puts it, Tuesday night rock fights.
There we go. I love it.
Or
um,
66 to 63 games, just depending on the night.
Yeah, you never know what you're gonna get with the Mac. So I guess Justin, well, you want to tell everybody like we kind of hinted at it, but you want to tell everybody exactly what we're talking about tonight?
Yeah, so we're going to go through kind of our MAC predictions. First of all, going through the conference, going through what are our favorites, what are some other teams you can't forget about, the sleepers, and of course, the teams that are just trying to fight their way forward. So we're going to be looking at the conference from top to bottom, having a blast with it, and of course, just giving every MAC fan something to enjoy.
And here at Updog Sports Talk, we love to stick up for the little guy. What better way to do that than talk some action? So this one hits home for us. Justin and I are Bowling Green alums, and we are super stoked to get into this conversation.
UMass now. It was hard to put them in this tier. Calm down, Maui.
Updog Sports Talk, where the dogs bark back.
um, but yeah, UMass kind of. It was hard to figure out where to put them because I didn't really want to put them in the Kent State and Akron category, so I kind of just put them here. What do you think about the Minutemen in year one?
So I think there's some up and down with them. It's so funny. We just did our UMass preseason recording tonight, and I like a lot of the pieces. Their defensive line and offensive line are going to be unbelievable strengths for them this year. I think that is where you're going to find
Wins
the
in
most value.
trenches.
And I also think that they're going to severely struggle in a lot of different aspects of the game. Not because they don't have talent, not because they don't have playmakers, but you're switching your schedule up to a conference schedule. You're also under a new head coach. There's so many unknowns for them just in terms of players who are playing, how well they play. They've got some great transfers in. I don't know that UMass is going to be competitive in year one. They'll probably drop a couple games that, okay, maybe they should have won that. But I think that in years 2, years 3, Joe Harris-Simiak is going to have a bunch of things ready to go for this team. He's excited. He did well at Maine. He's been a coordinator all over the place. So, this is a guy who knows football. Don't be surprised to see them be successful sooner than later. I think them finally having a little bit of stability is going to go a long way in terms of their future success.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, last year they may have been independent last year, but they did play 5 MAC games. 0-5 in all of them. Not much to write home about that one, but their wins came against Central, Connecticut State, and Wagner. So I guess there's nowhere to go but up. Justin, you really could have added another tier that just said UMass.
I guess so. I really like the coach though. Like he brought Maine to the FCS semifinals several years back. I think it may have been like 2017. Don't quote me on that. It's around that time. So he knows how to get it done, and I'm really excited for what he's going to do. And we'll see what happens. Obviously, a lot of question marks, but I am encouraged by the strength in the trenches, though, just because if you're strong in the trenches, that gives you a lot of possibilities of other things come into place. Because I think that's one of the tougher areas to build is up front because it's so many. Sorry, my dog is chewing something up. She has an attitude right now. The trenches is definitely the tougher area to build in, and they even gave Georgia a tough time last year up front. Like CJ Hester was able to run for I think 100 yards on the Bulldogs, if I remember correctly. Obviously, he's not there anymore, but um, still.
Well, I think we can move past the UMass tier here and move on to Kent State. I mean, they were just bad last year.
I mean, we'll move to a positive in a moment, but yeah, last year was probably one of the worst FBS seasons we've seen of all time, just because they were mostly uncompetitive. They lost to St. Francis, who actually was fun fact. St. Francis was coming off a loss to Dayton, a non-scholarship FCS school in the same state. So it really was a tough year, but Kent State's really trying to find a way to move in the right direction. Shine some light on some positives that could maybe we could draw from Kent State this year.
Can't get any worse.
Well, I can tell you if you want some positives, Kent State they have some talent, and I hesitate to kind of speak on that too much, but they do have some bright spots. They get to start their season at home, something that they haven't done in quite a while. They also aren't. I mean, they've kind of have joked that it's been called the Ride to Hell tour, and I think this year it's the Ride to Heck tour. It's not as difficult. Oklahoma, Florida State, still not easy games by any means, but this is a little bit easier of a road for Kent State. But then you get a relatively favorable conference schedule. Your toughest games are Toledo, NIU, and BG.
Yeah, last year they had it tough.
Yeah, that's like you get UMass, you get Ball State, you get Akron and Central Michigan. There are potentially up to 4 winnable MAC games this year for Kent State. Now, whether or not they do it, we'll see. But there are up to 4 winnable MAC games, and I think that's what fans can kind of get excited about. But I think the one you have to look at and the one you have to circle is that Week 12 game against Akron, and that's at Akron, so it's just 10 miles away. You got to get up for that one. You lost the streak of the wagon wheel 2 years ago at Akron, where they had a come-from-behind victory. If you want to win fan support back, you got to beat Akron.
Yeah, absolutely. That is one of the best rivalries in the MAC for sure. Like like you said, the programs are so close in proximity. There's just so much hate between the two. Now, I know the basketball side, because of that viral video a few years back, gets a lot more attention. Also, obviously because they put a lot more effort into basketball than other MAC schools do. So, like, obviously, they sacrifice a little bit of football, in order to attack the basketball side. So I know the basketball side gets a lot of attention, but it's just as heated in the football side. There's no love lost between the two, to put it kindly.
No, not at all. And I think that's kind of one of the beautiful things about rivalries like this is I know that if I drive up 75 and I'm going past Bowling Green to Toledo or up into Michigan or wherever, like, you don't even, like, if you're a fan of either school, you don't think about stopping in the other one's city to fill up on gas or to get food.
Well, or if the Toledo Toledo students want to go to the bars in BG, they usually make that stop too.
What what is a bar? I've never been there before. It's but like, I mean, there's no love lost between the two programs. And that's the way a good rivalry should be. There's respect for each other as human beings. At least somewhat. But I don't even know that there is between Akron and Kent State. If you guys remember the Akron-Kent State basketball men's championship a couple years ago, where players got suspended from Kent State for a diss track that was made in the locker room. And Akron went on to win that. And it kind of blows my mind how little love is lost between the two. But I love that it is that way.
Yeah, absolutely. And one of the intriguing piece for me with Kent State is definitely the quarterback, CJ Montez.
Yes.
He was a guy who absolutely tore it up in 2023 for the Fordham Rams. And then last year, it just kind of didn't go as hoped. Their offense didn't end up as good. He eventually got hurt and I believe missed a lot of the year. But he was a stud in 2023. If they get that form back, they're getting a really good quarterback. And keep in mind, this is a guy who, if you'll have the stat ready, I do. This is a guy who's only thrown one interception in his whole career.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's pretty unreal.
And they come with some experience in the skill positions. I mean, you're looking at upperclassmen around the board. So, I mean, it's not like there's freshmen jumping in. Like, I think, Justin, you put nowhere to go but up. And I think, I mean, they're not going to win the conference or anything. But, I mean, there's still going to be some positives throughout the season. I think within the first couple of weeks, they could raise a couple of eyebrows in the fact that they may not be winless.
Yeah, I mean, well, they opened with Merrimack, so that's the one I definitely have circled is they gotta win that one. If they get that one done, even win it by a few scores like one would expect, I think we're feeling a whole lot better about Kent State's season. And it feels good for them just to be 1-0 finally.
Yeah, and last year when they lost to St. Francis, not only did they lose to St. Francis, but shortly after that game, St. Francis was like, "Yeah, we're out. We're not dropping down one level. We're dropping down two."
It's interesting. And if you know anything about St. Francis, I don't know if you guys have ever seen the campus or anything like that. They're definitely not a Division I school, and that's okay. They served as one for a while, but competitively, like they've never been D1. Academic enrollment never really been D1. Like it's the right move for them to drop down to Division III.
Yeah. I mean, we know that all too well. There's tons of schools here in the Ohio Valley that are like good programs, solid programs, just don't meet the requirements.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But Buffalo, actually, the last FBS team, they'll get to play St. Francis, so that'll be fun. So we'll move to our last tier here, which I kind of have a little bit of fun with this one. Poor old Akron. No bowl, no bye week this year. That is the craziest. I've come across all the schedules. I've looked at probably every single schedule multiple times over. And my favorite schedule quirk in all of college football is the fact that Akron does not have a bye week.
That's when I looked at that this year, I had a really hard time believing that. I'm like, there's no way. But sure enough, and their season's done way before anybody else's. Like their season is done in like officially week 13. Everybody else is still playing week 14. Like it's a weird thing. They do get like that weird like 10-day gap to kind of kick off the midweek MACtion thing. But other than that, yeah, they don't really get a true bye week. They get the game between Buffalo and UMass. And look, when I look at Akron, I say this. Get your academics in order. I think the funniest thing in the world would be Akron goes undefeated this year.
That would be absolutely fun.
It would be so on brand, too.
And 100%. Like, you go undefeated this year. You claim a championship.
UCF
I say if you're Akron, you go undefeated, you claim a national championship. It's not going to count towards anything, but you do it. You absolutely do it. That's because you with being ineligible for postseason, like it sucks. But I think that you have to look at you guys. You still got underclassmen here who next year will be eligible for a bowl game. You have to develop them. Yes, you're losing your seniors who will not be eligible. Use them to use this as a teaching year, a year where they can grow themselves for potential pro opportunities, but also a year where they can kind of guide the young guys. Use the Alex Adams of the team to say, hey, this is how we do things, and this is how we get better. do things like that. I think that's the direction Joe Moorhead has to take Akron this year.
Well, I think one of the funniest storylines, I can't remember if it was last year or 2 years ago, we went from saying, what the hell is a zip, to why did someone just create a logo in Microsoft Word? I think part of this is if they were to rebrand again and bring back the zip so we can just go back to the old ways of saying, what the hell's a zip? I think once they get past this ban, rebranding and everything will do them pretty good, but I just wanted to throw that in there. I just like talking about zips and Microsoft
we like
Word.
to talk about college logos a lot here, and
Yeah.
we miss seeing the kangaroo on the logo for sure.
Mm-hmm. It was one of the best logos. They have, and I'm sure you guys have seen them. They've got some really cool old school logos. I love the full size kangaroo with where it said Akron across, but I also just love the A with the kangaroo. Like those are probably my two favorite Akron logos of all time.
You know what would be the most random one? Is if they brought a kangaroo in and just put a sailor hat on them. Just for old time's sake.
Exactly. Exactly like all the other ones. Like, do it. I love both of those logos too. I have a hat with the A with the kangaroo head on it. And I found that hat just like a couple years ago. And I was like, this is instantly a buy because they had already changed the other logo at that point. So I was like, I must have this. This is the logo I like and miss. So I was very glad to have that. Yeah, it would be the most on brand thing for Akron to reach. Either go undefeated or even just like reach 6 wins. This would have been the bowl year kind of situation. But they're just looking for positives. And of course, again, you mentioned it, their season ends November 18th. Lots of time before those exams to get those grades up and be bowl eligible next year.
Yes.
For them to
it's
go
fun
5
for them.
wins.
Poor Akron. I'm rooting for them in 2020.
Alex, you want to go ahead and plug the program?
Yeah, first off, thank you guys for having me. I appreciate your time, allowing me to talk about some MACtion. Appreciate you having me on. Great to talk with you guys. But if anybody's interested in getting any more nothing but MACtion, really, we don't talk about anything else, which is almost incredible at this point.
It's truly glorious.
Yes. It's we only talk about the MAC, but we do it all. We talk MAC football, MAC basketball, MAC baseball, softball, lacrosse, field hockey. We love this conference. We love this league. You can find us anywhere on social media at the Mac Sports Connection. Some places it's still listed as the Mac Sports Connection podcast. Find us or even at the MSC podcast. Any platforms you guys want to listen to, we're on Apple Music, Spotify, YouTube, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio. You guys can find us really, really anywhere podcasts are available as well. And then I guess because I got to plug it, download the Varsity app by Lairfield. You can listen to us through their network of podcasters. So worked on that partnership, and it's been a great one so far. And we're part of the Lairfield family of podcasts. So all those places, check us out, and we definitely appreciate the love and support. My co-host Graham and I both really appreciate the support people have thrown behind what we do, and makes it more fun.
Yeah, and I mean, gotta say it one last time. Nothing better than MACtion, baby.
Nothing better than MACtion, that's right.
All right, that is the show, folks. We will catch you next time. We will go back to live episodes in the fall, and we will see you.